Yeah. 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 One with it. The cafe opens early while the street is still asleep. A kettle hums in rhythm with the footsteps in the street. The tables near the window hold the softest kind of light, where strangers write their stories while the city fades from night. I took a seat beside the glass, the sky just turning gold. The air still smelled of yesterday, a rain that felt so cold. A letter in my pocket that I never planned to send, unfolded in the sunlight like a memory to mend. A painter by the doorway brushed the morning into blue. A couple shared a silence that the busy crowd once knew. A taxi passed the corner with its headlights still awake. Its tires whispered echoes of the choices we don't take. I traced the coffee surface as the phone began to sink. Each ripple like the circles from the stones I used to fling. The barista played a record that was older than the chairs, a song about a window and the voice that filled the air. Morning notes by the window, ink on wrinkled lines. Every word remembers a different place and time. If you've ever held a letter you were scared to show, you know how quiet mornings let the gentlest feelings grow. Sunlight hit the table where the paper once was blank. It caught a tear that landed like a fragile watermark. I wrote about the promises I couldn't make back then, about the way the autumn leaves still spell your name again. The city slowly woke, the doors began to swing. The clatter of the porcelain replaced the sparrow's wings. I folded up the letter, left it resting by the glass, for someone else to find and learn that some goodbyes can last. There's a calm that only morning ever seems to understand, a hush that holds the fragile words too shy for open hands. I wonder if tomorrow I will see you walking in, or if the empty chair will keep your shadow as a friend. Morning notes by the window, ink on wrinkled lines. Every word remembers a different place and time. If you've ever held a letter you were scared to show, you know how quiet mornings let the gentlest feelings grow. Let the gentlest feelings grow. Morning notes by the window, ink on wrinkled lines. Every word remembers a different place and time. If you find the letter waiting by the golden glow, it's just another story only morning seem to know.
The light leaks through the curtain's edge. Dust spins slow like time forgot its pledge. Old frame on the desk, half faded smile. You left it there, said just for a while. The clock still stands, its hands don't move. Guess it knows we got nothing to prove. Off coffee cold, but I sip it still, pretending that warmth is something I can feel. And in this room, time breathes slow. Every second just learns to let go. Always remember the things we said. Even silence has its thread. We're ghosts in a frame, quietly seen, living inside an unfinished dream. The record spins but no sound comes out, like it's scared to whisper what it's about. Window cracked, the rain creeps in. I trace your name where the drops begin. Yeah, you said forever, I said I'll wait, but forever's just another word for late. The bed's still warm on your side some days, as if the air knows how to stay. Yeah. Books unread, stories half alive. Shelves hold memories we can't revive. The scent of your hair still hides in the air, fading slow, but always there. I talk to shadows like they might respond. The past feels close, the world beyond. Every object keeps your sound, like this room's afraid to move on. And in this room, time breathes slow. Every second just learns to let go. Walls remember the things we said. Even silence has its thread. We're ghosts in a frame, quietly seen, living inside an unfinished dream. And in this room, the clock forgot to tick again tonight. And maybe that's alright. If time ever moves, it'll take you too. So let it stay still. Just me and the let go of you.
Yeah, morning train pulls out, wheels humming like a low hymn. Rain against the glass draws rivers I can't swim. Seats lined with strangers hiding lies behind the screens. 1,000 quiet stories passing blurred suburban scenes. I catch my own reflection layered over rushing trees. A younger version of me staring back uneasily. He asked if I remember all the dreams I used to chase, or if I learned to fold them up and tuck them into place. Stations flicker past like pages torn from different books. Couples share a silence that's louder than their looks. A boy holds a sketchpad with the ocean in his lines. An old man with a paper hums a song from better times. The rhythm of the tracks was like a beating in my chest, reminding me that moving on doesn't always mean what's best. I press my forehead to the glass and watch the cities fade, thinking of the promises the distance never made.
Through the window, echoes fall in place. Miles behind us, memories we chase. Every passing shadow seems to say, we carry what we can, and let the rest decay.
A message in my pocket that I never learned to send. A letter to myself that starts with dear forgotten friend. The rain begins to settle as the sky reveals a glow. The clouds retreat like curtains to a stage I used to know. I wonder if the strangers here have cities of their own, full of unread letters, empty calls and dial tones. The train keeps moving forward as the echo slowly thin. Sometimes the journey's all we get, not where it ends within. The wheels sing a steady hymn beneath the steel and rain, reminding every traveler we're all bound by the same train. We don't need a destination to remember where we've been, just a moment at the window where the world leans in.
Through the window, echoes fall in place. Miles behind us, memories we chase. Every passing shadow seems to say, we carry what we can, and let the rest decay. Let the rest decay. Let the rest decay. Let the rest decay.
It's past midnight, the lights are low. Steam from my cup moves soft and slow. Notes on the table, paper spread wide. The city outside, barely alive. I trace each word with a careful hand. Dreams and deadlines both demand. The ticking clock fades into air. Only my breath is left to care. Pages whisper, I listen close. The night is quiet, the mind just flows. Streetlights blur through the window pane. Reflections flicker inside my brain. I write, erase, then write again, trying to find where thoughts begin. Every line's a piece of me, drifting between what I wanna be. A small world built on caffeine sighs, where tired hearts still fantasize. I'm just turning pages in the night, chase something I can't write. Words fall down, the meaning hides, but I keep moving with the tide. My phone is dark, no calls tonight. Just quiet beats and pale lamplight. Outside a taxi hums and fades. Echoes of life through empty shades. Sometimes I think I'm talking to time, like it's listening through every rhyme. Maybe it knows what I don't yet see. How peace can come so silently. No need to rush, no race to win. Focus begins when noise grows thin. Every breath a simple guide to keep the chaos locked outside. I'm just turning pages in the night. Chase something I can't write. If tomorrow feels too far away, I'll stay right here in drifting gray. When the dawn begins to bloom, shadows fall back into the room. I'll close the book but not my mind. Some thoughts take time to find. Pages sleep but never die. They dream with me beneath the sky. I've been staring at the ceiling for an hour or two. The clock keeps ticking, but there's nothing to do. My mind's a room with the lights left on. Every old memory just drifts along. I replay words I never said. Conversations looping in my head. It's quiet here, but I can't rest. The thoughts keep marching in my chest. But maybe it's fine. Maybe it's just me trying too hard to let things be. The night's too still, my heart too loud. I hide from the noise inside the crowd. But even alone, it doesn't fade. The mind still hums in its own parade. I trace the plans that fell apart, like ink that smudged across my heart. Every choice a thread unspun. Every silence weighs a ton. Too many thoughts tonight. I try to turn them off, but they still ignite. The world is asleep, I'm wide awake, counting the breaths that I can't fake. Too many thoughts tonight. I try to turn them off, but they still ignite. The world is asleep, I'm wide awake, counting the breaths that I can't fake. I tell myself to let it slide, but peace won't come, it tends to hide. The more I chase, the more it fades. Like shadows pulled by the light they made. I learned that calm is not a place, it's a moment you choose to face. So I breathe again and close my eyes, even if dreams don't realize. Maybe it's okay to not be still, to wander slow against your will. Maybe tonight I'll just exist between the noise and the myth. Too many thoughts tonight, but maybe that's what keeps me right. Every doubt, every tear, just another way to clear. When the sun begins to crawl, I feel a little less small. The thoughts will fade, the heart will mend, and I'll start again. My quiet friend. Found the path by the shoreline where the tide had left the scars. Rusted sign, half buried, pointing faintly to the stars. The lighthouse stood in silence, paint was peeling off the frame. Windows clouded over like they'd never learned my name. Pushed the heavy wooden door that groaned against the years. Steps were lined with photographs that blurred from salt and tears. I came to read the journal of the keeper long ago. A stranger's fading handwriting I somehow seem to know. Pages told of stormy nights when land and glass would shake. How we carved the dates in timber for the promises he'd make. He wrote of ships that drifted safe because the beacon shone. And once about a letter that he never could have shown. I pictured him in lamplight tracing circles on the floor, waiting for the signal of a sail that reached no shore. The echoes of his footsteps felt like pulses in my chest. Every word he left behind refused to let me rest, yeah. Light across the water calling out to Rome, guiding every stranger even when alone. Somewhere in the pages where the candle burns so thin lives the voice that whispers you can always start again. You can always start again. Climbed the spiral staircase to the landing made of glass. Watched the sunset shimmer on the ships that drifted past. Laid the journal by the beacon, let the sea breeze turn the page. Felt the weight of all the winters, all the seasons, all the age. Struck a match to light the flame that hadn't burned in years. Saw it bloom against the dark and scatter all my fears. I knew I'd leave by morning, but the night was worth the stay. For every keep a story that the ocean swept away. We hold the lamps for others though we never see their eyes, and sometimes keep the harbor just by standing in the rise. I closed the book in silence, let the candles echo glow. Promise to remember every line I'd come to know, yeah. Light across the water calling out to Rome, guiding every stranger even when alone. Somewhere in the pages where the candle burns so thin lives the voice that whispers you can always start again. You can always start again. You can always start again.
I miss my stop, that's how the night began. Car lights on the river like a scattered diagram. Empty seats humming with the weight of yesterday. A stranger stepped in carrying a suitcase made of gray. He said he'd been chasing a voice from a dream. Crossed 3 cities just to follow a theme. His jacket smelled like rain that had nowhere to fall. His eyes looked tired but they still stood tall. We talked between 2 stations, stories like paper boats in the dark. Not friends, not strangers, just a small vibration. 2 hearts colliding in a fleeting spark. I told him about the letters I never sent, all the cafes where my loose change went. He laughed and said we collect invisible things. The echo of footsteps, the rustle of wings. The train slowed down, the windows breathed cold. Every streetlight passing was a secret untold. We never asked for names, maybe that was the deal. Some truths stay softer when they're half the real. We talk between 2 stations, stories like paper boats in the dark. Not friends, not strangers, just a small vibration. 2 hearts colliding in a fleeting spark. The world outside kept rushing by, steel tracks singing their lullaby. We didn't need tomorrow to explain tonight. Some meetings live only under dim train lights. When When the doors opened, he tipped his head low, said maybe that dream's all I needed to know. I stayed on the train, watching shadows bend, thinking how sometimes strangers heal what friends can't mend. Now whenever I ride past that station sign, I hear the echo of his voice running down the line. A fleeting chapter, but it still feels true. We were just two travelers passing through.
Alarm rings too early, sky still wearing last night's blue. Coffee left unfinished, buses late like it always knew. Screens glow in the morning, scrolling headlines on repeat. Trying to feel awake while the city hums beneath my feet. Text unread from a friend, I keep meaning to reply. I keep saying tomorrow as the weeks slide quietly by. I trace the window's fog with a line that fades too soon. A small reminder that nothing ever waits for you. Deadlines on the calendar like shadows in the hall. Every check marks tiny victory but barely moves the wall. Lunch break in the corner seat with headphones turned down low. Watching strangers talking pieces I'll never get to know. A note I wrote last winter hides between my paper files. Don't forget the small things, I read it twice and almost smiled. Sometimes I wonder if we're all just moving side by side, sharing the same silence while pretending we don't mind. We're just writing little notes between the days, saving every spark before it drifts away. If you've been feeling like the world's too loud, you're not alone. We're quiet but we're proud of. You've been feeling like the world's too loud, you're not alone. We're quiet but we're proud of. Evenings feel like borrowed time that slips beneath the door. Dishes in the sink become the things I still ignore. Street lamps flicker questions that I'm too tired to explain. Promises to call my mom keep echoing again. I'm learning not to chase the finish line inside my head. Some roads aren't for running, they're for stopping in instead. So here's to all the late night thoughts we never dare to speak, and every honest moment that the busy hours keep. If you're listening now, somewhere under different skies, I hope these words remind you that your quiet heart's alive. We all collect the worries that we never meant to save, but still there's room for laughter in the pockets of each day. We're just writing little notes between the days, keeping them as proof that we have found our way. In every unremarkable and ordinary scene, there's still a kind of beauty in the spaces in between. Oh, 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 da 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 da. Oh, not alone, we're quiet but we're proud. Oh, da 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 da. I've been staring at the ceiling for an hour or two. The clock keeps ticking but there's nothing to do. My mind's a room with the lights left on. Every old memory just drifts along. I replay words I never said, conversations looping in my head. It's quiet here but I can't rest. The thoughts keep marching in my chest. Maybe it's fine, maybe it's just me. Yeah, trying too hard to let things be. Yeah. The night's too still, my heart too loud. I hide from the noise inside the crowd, but even alone, it doesn't fade. The mind still hums in its own parade. I trace the plans that fell apart, like ink that smudged across my heart. Yeah, every choice a thread unspun. Every silence weighs a ton. Too many thoughts tonight. I try to turn them off, but they still ignite. The world is asleep, I'm wide awake, counting the breaths that I can't fake. I tell myself to let it slide, but peace won't come, it tends to hide. The more I chase, the more it fades. Like shadows pulled by the light they made. I learned that calm is not a place. It's a moment you choose to face. So I breathe again and close my eyes. Even if dreams don't realize. Maybe it's okay to not be still, to wander slow against your will. Maybe tonight I'll just exist between the noise and the me. Too many thoughts tonight, but maybe that's what keeps me right. Every doubt, every tear, yeah, just another way to clear, yeah. And when the sun begins to crawl, I'll feel a little less small. The thoughts will fade, the heart will mend, and I'll start again, my quiet friend. And I'll start again.
I wandered down an alley I hadn't seen in years. Cobblestones were glistening from last night's hidden tears. Graffiti whispered secrets only time could understand. Windows cracked and leaning like they'd reached a final stand. A stray cat brushed my ankle as I stepped on broken tile. I felt the pulse of memories buried for a while. The streetlights flickered softly like a heartbeat in the night, guiding me through corners where the past refused the light. Each shop had a story, closed signs sagging on the door, echoes of laughter bouncing off the bricks from years before. I saw our faded mural faces staring through the paint. Every color told a tale of hope that knew restraint. I paused by a fountain, water pooling like a mirror. Caught my own reflection mixed with visions getting clearer. All the paths I'd walked before came rushing back in streams, turns and corners folding into half-forgotten dreams.
Forgotten streetlights guiding footsteps in the haze. Every shadow holding pieces of our younger days. Even when the city sleeps and silence falls so deep, somewhere in the alleys, memories never sleep. Oh,
Yeah, memories never sleep. Yeah. A musician played guitar inside a broken cafe hall, strummed a tune that sounded like a summer's distant call. I stopped and listened, feeling every note and chord, as if the walls remembered every single word I ignored. The air smelled like old paper, rain and fading jasmine. Every corner held a secret I could almost imagine. I left a coin on the counter, walked back into the night. The streets seem smaller now, yet glowing with its quiet light. We walk through streets we think we know, but they change while we're away. The echoes of our footsteps mixed with shadows that stay. Sometimes the forgotten corners are the ones that guide us home, even when we wander, even when we roam.
forgotten streetlights guiding footsteps in the haze. Every shadow holding pieces of our younger days. Even when the city sleeps and silence falls so deep, somewhere in the alleys, memories never sleep.
Yeah, my memories never sleep. Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
Under the quiet lamp, my mind starts to hum.
Pages breathe softly, the world turns numb. Pencil moves slow like it's tracing a dream. Thoughts drip steady like rain in a stream. No noise outside, just my pulse in the pen. Same small rhythm again and again. I let the time fade, don't care where it goes. Silence is a friend that nobody knows. Breathe in, let go. Breathe in, let go. Everything slow. Everything slow. Stay here, stay low. Stay here, stay low. In the space you know. Oh, 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 oh. Clock hand turns like a quiet tide. I'm deep in the line where my thoughts hide. Each word builds a room inside my head. Soft light falls where the day once bled. No rush, no race, no sound to chase. Only calm air fills this place. Every minute feels like it's meant to be. Floating in focus, endlessly free. Stay in the rhythm, don't break the flow. Let the world fade quiet and slow. Every breath, every thought align. Nothing left but a peaceful mind. Stay in the rhythm, don't break the flow. Let the world fade quiet and slow. Every breath, every thought align. Nothing left but a peaceful mind.
Maybe I'm lost, but I don't mind that. Drifting through notes on a faded pad. Outside fades into velvet gray. Inside I'm light, I can float this way. A whisper of sound, a low heartbeat repeats like steps in an empty street. It's not about finish, not about end. Just me in the moment that doesn't bend. The night won't wait, the night won't rush. The stars won't speak, the stars won't speak. Stillness stronger than words we seek. Focus feels like falling slow. Deeper into what I know. Under the quiet lamp, still I remain. Breathing the calm through every vein. Thoughts dissolve like ink in air. Peace in motion, soft and rare. Someone else, what I found, I'd say silence makes the perfect sound. The radio hums in the corner slow. Crackling voices from long ago. Static dances like falling snow. And I remember things I used to know. The hallway smell of summer rain. Wooden floor that called my name. A distant laugh through the open door. The kind of peace I don't feel anymore. I turn the dial just to hear echoes of a younger year. Voices from the static, they sound almost like home. Whispers through the attic where time has never grown. If I could step inside that sound, will you still be there to be found? Hey. A vinyl spins but skips on truth. It's missing lines from my own youth. That old green lamp still flickers right, like it's remembering its own light. Mom used to hum that same old tune, filling up the kitchen under the moon. I was small, but the world felt wide. Now I chase that feeling I can't find. Every song's a photograph frame of faces I forgot to name. The more I listen, the less I hear, except the pulse of what was clear. Maybe growing up means
noise for emptiness, but somewhere in that static sea, the kid I was still calls to me. Voices from the static, they sound almost like home. Whispers through the attic where time has never grown. If I could step inside that sound, would you still be there to be found? The radio fades, but I let it play, like it's guiding me another way. And for a breath, the noise turns clear. I swear I hear you calling here. Then silence falls, soft and deep, and the room forgets, but I still keep. Found a stack of postcards in a box behind the stairs. Dust on every corner like the weight of quiet prayers. Each one stamped and faded, never sent to who they named. Someone's half-told stories hiding in the postal frame. I climb up to the rooftop just to read them in the breeze, where the skyline hums like a choir of distant seas. Pigeons circle slowly as the letters start to speak. I hear the ink-stained voices through the city concrete. One car spoke of April rain, a town I've never seen. Another drew a lantern boat adrift along a stream. A broken promise scribbled in a hurry, tilted hand, a photograph of footprints vanishing in foreign sand. I wonder who they were and if they ever made it home, if the sender found forgiveness or kept learning how to roam. The rooftop feels like paper as the wind begins to turn, and every unread memory becomes a bridge that burns. Postcards from the rooftop, whisper to the moon, carried by the echoes of a song out of tune. Stories that were stranded find a voice in the night, painting all the shadows in a wandering light. I slip a card between the cracks of broken satellite, write my name in tiny letters that the morning might rewrite. The city keeps its secrets in the rust of iron beams, but I'm just here collecting all the threads of someone's dreams. Maybe years from now a stranger finds the one I leave, reads the words I never spoke but always hope to weave. We pass our hidden chapters like a torch we'll never see, yet somehow every rooftop keeps them safe above the street. I hear the trains below hum a low uncertain chord, as if the rails remember all the wishes they ignored. The night begins to fold its paper corners back in place. The postcards drift like paper birds across the urban space. Faded at postcards from the rooftop, carried on the breeze, telling us the stories that the ink refused to freeze. Every line unfinished still belongs to someone's sky. Keep them close and let their echo teach me how to try. Da 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 da. I climbed the wooden ladder to the attic after years. Dust was thick as snowfall, hiding boxes, hiding fears. Found a roll of paper tied in string that came undone. Blueprints of a tiny house drawn when I was 21. Windows facing sunrise, got a line with cherry trees. A porch swing by the water where the wind could run with ease. Back then I thought I'd build it all before the decade passed, but time became a detour made of roads that never last. I spread the fragile pages on a crate beneath the beams. Every line remembered me, every wall recalled my dreams. The attic light was flickering like it struggled to agree whether all those younger plans still belong to me. I trace the tiny kitchen where a table used to wait. Imagine voices laughing that I never learned to make. It hit me that the things we draw are more than nails and wood. They're pieces of the moments that we swore we understood. Blueprints in the attic, folded by the year. Maps of all the places that we built in hope and tears. Even if the house was never standing by the lake, the dream still left a shadow every dawn. It couldn't wait. I heard the rain start tapping on the roof above my head, like someone knocking gently on the doors of things, and said the paper curled at edges, ink had faded into gray, but somehow held its colors in the stories tucked away. I realized we don't always need the building to appear. Sometimes the sketch itself is what survives across the years. I rolled the plans back carefully and tied the string once more. A memory built itself though I closed the door. Maybe every attic hides a house that never grew, still alive in lines of graphite where the younger self once drew. We can't rebuild the summers or the people that we missed, but we can keep their outlines in the folds we still resist. Blueprints in the attic, folded by the years. Maps of all the places that we built in hope and tears. Even if the house was never standing by the lake, the dream still left a shadow every dawn. It couldn't wait. Blueprints in the attic, folded by the years. Maps of all the places that we built in hope and tears.
The day fades out like dust in the air. Moments I live still linger somewhere. I rewind the thoughts that never spoke. Tiny reflections beneath the smoke. Every face, every sound I met turns to shadows I can't forget. But silence knows what words can't say. It hums the end of another day. Slowly I breathe, slowly I learn. Every quiet night helps me return. There's a waiting calm, but I let it be. It keeps me still, it keeps me free. The echoes fade, but never die. They draw small shapes against my sky. I see the plans I left undone. The race is lost, I never won. Still in the dark, I find some peace. A gentle moment of release. Every sound becomes an echo. Every thought drifts where winds blow. I don't chase, I don't fight, just fade softly into night. I talk to myself in a tone so low, like telling the sea to forget the flow. Mistakes feel small when the lights go dim. They lose their weight on the evening rim. The mind rewinds, the heart resets, forgives the hours it once regrets. And I realize through this grace, I'm always safe in my own space. Not every scar is meant to heal. Some just teach you how to feel. Not every dream needs to stay. Some just light the quiet way. Every sound becomes an echo. Every thought drifts where winds blow. Nothing lost, nothing found, just my peace in this quiet sound. Every sound becomes an echo. Every thought drifts where winds blow. Nothing lost, nothing found, just my peace in this quiet sound. So I close the day and let it rest. No more questions. test. If tomorrow comes, I'll see it through. But for now, this calm will do. The platform hums beneath my feet. City lights fade as the engines breathe. One suitcase half full of dreams, and a ticket to wherever silence means. Your voice still echoes in my phone. Unread messages left alone. I scroll through words I'll never send. Goodbye is easier when it never ends. Windows blur like uncried tears. Every mile erased. I'm on the last train out of town, watching memories slow me down. Every shadow wears your name, but I don't chase it, not the same. The stars don't move, they just wait. I guess some hearts learn to hesitate. The seats are empty except for me and someone humming in key. The rhythm of the rail aligns with the echo of a borrowed time. We built our home on borrowed ground. Now it's quiet, no one around. I used to think love was what we own, but maybe love is what we've outgrown. The night outside looks almost kind, like it forgives the things we left behind. Your laughter drifts then fades away, but some ghosts choose to stay. If I see you in another light, I'll just nod and let it feel right. We were two verses and one refrain. Now I ride through the night without you. I'm on the last train out of town, watching memories slow me down. Every shadow wears your name, but I don't chase it, not the same. The stars don't move, they just wait. I guess some hearts learn to hesitate. The station signs blur into gray, and dawn begins to steal the gray away. If home was you, then I'm halfway gone, but maybe leaving's how I move on. The train hums low, like a lullaby sound, and the past stays quiet as the world turns around. Quiet hum of the city leaking through the window frame. Streetlights paint the tables with a liquid silver flame. Notebook, open pages smell like yesterday's rain. Ink flows slow like my thoughts that I can't quite name. A coffee ring glooming on the corner of the page. Tiny map of places where my patience had to age. I watch the steam drift fade into the night air, counting every breath just to prove that I'm still here. Counting every breath just to prove that I'm still here. But
Headphones low, just a beat to keep my mind aligned. Clock hands drag their feet, I'm running out of borrowed time. Reminders on the screen pile up like paper towers. Deadlines chase my shadow down these quiet study hours. But I keep writing, not for grades, not for any fame, just to understand the echoes of a name I can't reclaim. Every scribbled line's a bridge I build across the noise, hoping one day it'll reach the younger version of my voice. Late hours, coffee rings, hearts that never sleep. Notes and dreams are scattered where the lamplight's weak. If you're out there grinding just to find some peace, these lines are for the ones who feel too much to speak. If you're out there grinding just to find some peace, these lines are for the ones who feel too much to speak. Yeah. In the glass of empty cups, all the sleepless conversations that the silence interrupts. We share the same weight, you, me, and the passing cars, carrying our stories like invisible memoirs. It's not about perfection, it's about the trying part, about the little sparks that survive inside the dark. So if you listen now, somewhere under different skies, know the night forgives the ones who dare to still revise. Another page turns, another shadow leaves, the cafe hum fades, but the words will always breathe for the restless minds and the hearts that mend in ink. Keep the pen warm, let the city lights wink. Yeah, another page turns, another shadow leaves, the cafe hum fades, but the words will always breathe for the restless minds and the hearts that mend in ink. Keep the pen warm, let the city lights wink. Yeah, yeah. Keep the pen warm, let the city lights wink. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Keep the pen warm, let the city lights wink. Keep the pen warm, let the city lights wink. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Keep the pen warm, let the city lights wink. Yeah. Keep the pen warm, let the city lights wink. Yeah. Keep the pen warm, let the city lights wink. Yeah. Keep the pen warm, let the city lights wink. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Keep the pen warm, let the city lights wink. There's a line in my mind that I follow each night. It bends and fades under dim blue light. No noise around, no reason to rush. Every thought moves slow in a gentle hush. I don't need words to say what I mean. It's quiet enough to keep it clean. Breathe in rhythm, let it slide. This is the stillness I keep inside. No sound, no fight, just focus and light. The world fades down, I stay inside. I count the beats that my pulse creates. Time feels smooth when the tension breaks. Moments stretch like threads of rain, falling softly across my brain. Every motion slow and kind, every silence well defined. It's not escape, it's how I stay. Balance between the night and day. Aim and let it drift, don't pull too tight. Let the rhythm hold you light. No more thoughts to rearrange. Stillness doesn't need a change. I watch ideas form and fade. They come like waves I never made. No control, no need to steer. They find their way when the mind is clear. I learn to move without demand, to feel the pulse and understand. There's peace in things that never shout, a truth you only find without. Maybe calm is not the end, it's a place where thoughts can bend. Maybe focus is just breath, returning home where the noise is level. Let it drift, don't pull too tight. Let the rhythm hold you light. Every word dissolves in air. Peace is found when nothing's
there, so I stay in line with the quiet mind. No race to run, no clock to find, just the sound of breath and space, and the calm that time can't replace.
Neon signs flicker like they're half awake. Taxi doors slam, hearts start to break. I walk alone through the silver rain, counting steps like they're all the same. A coffee cup cools in my trembling hand. No destination, no final plan. I used to chase the noise, the crowd. Now I just listen to the city too loud. All these streets, they know my name, but I don't feel the same. I'm lost between the streetlights, yeah, drifting through the quiet nights, yeah. No map, no sign, just a fading line between who I was and what's left behind. If I don't find home, that's fine. Maybe peace is just the in-between time. A window glows on a third floor high. A shadow moves, maybe just the sky. I see my face in the glass again, but it's someone else, not who I've been. Phone in my pocket, but no one calls. Echoes bounce off the empty walls. I let the wind rewrite my thought. Every breath a lesson I forgot. There's a rhythm in the rain tonight, soft repeating almost right. Maybe I don't need to understand. Maybe losing's just another plan. The world hums slow, street lamps hum back. Even the dark has its own soundtrack. I'm lost between the streetlights, yeah, drifting through the quiet nights, yeah. No map, no sign, just a fading line between who I was and what's left behind. If I don't find home, that's fine. Maybe peace is just the in-between time, yeah. The rain stops, the air feels clean. Somewhere inside I start to breathe. Maybe being lost was all I need, yeah, to find the version of me that can finally leave, yeah, yeah. On the edge of the harbor there's a shack with an open door. Lanterns line like constellations scattered on the floor. Each one holds a flicker from a night that someone lost. A memory they couldn't keep, a wish they couldn't cross. He gathers every broken lamp that drifts in with the tide, polishes the rusted glass and lets the embers hide. They say he was a sailor once who couldn't leave the bay, waiting for a signal light that never found its way. Kids from the neighborhood sneak down when the moon is bright, trading in more bottles for a glimpse of borrowed light. He tells them that a lantern burns a story when it glows. Some shine with laughter's echoes, some with winter snow. I watch him lift a copper lamp, his hands are trembling hush. Inside it swirls a photograph of footprints in the dust. He whispers to the glass like he's speaking to the past. Says every spark remembers, but no flame is made to last. Lanterns on the shoreline, breathing with the sea, carrying the echoes of who we used to be. Every light a window to the places we outgrew, shining for a heartbeat then fading out of view, oh, then fading out of view. One night the harbor floods break their moorings, drift like meteors reborn. He wades into the water, reaching out with open arms, gathering the fragile sparks to keep the night from harm. But even he can't hold them when the current pulls away. Doesn't slip beneath the waves and drown without a name. At dawn he sits in silence by the pieces that remain. A single lamp still glowing with the first one he ever claimed. I ask him why he saves them when the sea will take them back. He smiles beneath the weathered brim of his sailor's hat. Says every light that's rescued is a night that's not alone. You can't keep the ocean still, but you can guide it. Our lanterns on the shoreline, breathing with the sea, carrying the echoes of who we used to be. Every light a window to the places we outgrew, shining for a heartbeat and fading out of view. Fading out of you. Walk through memory step by step, past the echoes my mind still kept. Names and faces fade like smoke, whispers of time that softly spoke. No sound but the hum of thought, tracing the lines that life has brought. Every second a grain of light, falling slow in the endless night. I don't need to find the star, it's all still written in my heart. Yeah, some dreams left without a name, some love burned out without a flame. I see the things I used to be, reflection shift inside of me. The past walks close but doesn't speak. It touches once then fades to weak. Still I follow where it goes, down the path where silence flows, drifting slow through all I know. The night feels soft, the air feels true. I'm not lost, I'm not found, just walking circles without a sound. Every memory wears a face, every regret finds its place. I've learned to stay, not run away, to breathe and let the moment stay. No need to change what time defines, it's all just part of quiet lines. The more I move, the less I fear, the more I fade, the more I'm clear. You can't rewind what's already done, but you can rest when the race is won. You can't erase, but you can see how peace grows slow like a tree, drifting slow through all I know. The night feels soft, the air feels true. Every thought begins to fall, I don't need to know it all. And when the dawn begins to rise, the past dissolves before my eyes. Keep the quiet, keep the glow, and let the gentle rhythm flow.